So, I know I've been a little bit AWOL for the last few weeks on YouTube. As you guys can see, I'm in between shaves, so life's really been a little bit hectic. But I promise to try and get this is come boy. This is Nacho. I don't know if you guys can see him even. This is my little sidekick. Anyway. But I promise I'm going to try and get some new content out for you guys as soon as possible. Anyway, so I got a little package this morning. It's always Christmas at my house when I get packages. So I was wondering if I could open it now, see what it is. Oh, caps, bro. For those of you that don't know, I have a nasty thing for caps, like really I spend way too much money on caps, and this is actually White Wolf wear. So these boys are actually from my hometown and they hit me up and said they want to send me some stuff. This is so cool. So yeah, it's actually quite cool to see some guys, some local guys get into the industry and get some cool clothing out there and everything. So yeah, definitely go out, support them, White Wolf Wear. If you guys see them on social media, on Instagram, hit the like button and support some local entrepreneurs. So I wanted to do a little bit of a Q&A today. I got a lot of questions on my Instagram stories and my posts. So I chose like 16 and we're going to see how many of them we can run through in this video without making it too long. Let me just get rid of this. Right, first question. How much do you weigh? I weigh about 110. Usually off season I go all the way to 117, 120. But because of photo shoots and obligations, I'm keeping it quite tight this year. I don't want to pick up too much weight, too much body fat. Tips on increasing your appetite. I assume this means in the mornings. So what I do, especially in my off season, I try and keep cardio in fasted, even if it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just to rev your metabolism up a little bit and to keep some of that unwanted water and fat off in the off season. I find that helps a lot with your appetite. Best way to bulk up for lean guys with a fast metabolism. So what most people don't know about me is I actually, when I started out, I weighed 69 kilograms. And in the first 2 years, I think I went up 43 kilograms, so 112. And I legit did this. So what I did for those 2 years is I actually ate a loaf of brown bread every day, like every single day. Whether it was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, every day I ate a loaf of brown bread with my normal food. And I picked up a lot of weight with that. No fat actually, because my metabolism was so fast. I was still very young as well, and that helped a lot. So calories, guys, calories is the answer to everything. If you're not picking up weight, if you're not picking up size, believe me, it's not your training, you're not eating enough. There, jeez. So the next question I've got here is, how long should one's off season be? First things first, I hate the word off season. I really don't believe in it. It's a word used by lazy people to wear long shirts and look like shit. So I would say as long as you stay away from about 15% body fat, you don't go higher than that, you can have an off season as long as you want, as long as you're consistently growing. I think as soon as you reach past that 15% body fat, then your off season is pretty much done and you need to get on a treadmill ASAP. What is a good weight and fat percentage to be for a good physique? That really depends on what your definition is of a good physique. I think depending on how tall you are, how much muscle you have, everyone's weight will fluctuate and be different. A guy that weighs 110 at 10% doesn't look the same as a guy that weighs 95 at 10%. So I find as long as you stay around the 10% mark, 11% mark, find where you feel your physique looks best. Like I said, I'm 110 now and I quite like the way I look. Whereas other guys don't feel I'm a little bit too big or I'm a little bit too small, depending on who you are. So yeah, I believe just keep it around 10% and just see what you look like and how you feel. My opinion of what a perfect physique is and yours is never the same. How do you offset your large cheat meals? So in my diets, I have cheat meals, and like you guys have seen, I eat quite a lot in my cheats. So because they're planned, I never offset my cheat meals at all. But let's answer this question like this. So what happens if I cheat when I'm not supposed to cheat? So usually those are followed by days. In the morning I'll do 1 hour to 2 hours of cardio, and I would reduce my carbs to either 0 or very minimal 30 grams of carbs in the day, just to kind of make up for the surplus of calories that I had the day before. So either cardio or cutting out carbs completely, or just a combination of both of those things. What is your 5-year plan in your bodybuilding career? So for the first few years that I did this, I didn't really have a plan, but this year specifically, I've set a goal for myself, a 5-year goal actually. So in the next 5 years, I definitely am looking to get my Classic Physique Pro card and ultimately reach the Olympia stage. I think that's been a goal and a dream of mine since I started bodybuilding. So I definitely want to see myself on stage, on the Olympia stage in the next 5 years. I don't care where I place, just to be known amongst some of the best bodybuilders in the world would be a phenomenal thing for me. So I definitely want to do that within the next 5 years. Dealing with the hate. I just don't give a fuck. If I'm honest with you, life is not a popularity contest, and I see so many people change who they are because they're so scared of what people think of them. I am very much myself at all times, and I've been very fortunate in the people that I surround myself with and the following that I've built, that people quite enjoy who I am and the way I am. But as with all things in life, not everyone will like you, and what does that matter? If they don't pay your bills, or they don't make you happy and they don't make you better, then I don't see a point at having them in your life. So that's basically how I deal with the hate, if you want to call it. I just don't fucking care. Classic physique posing. So it's a little bit of a vague question, but I've been going back and forth with this whole concept in the last few months. There is a difference between classic physique posing and bodybuilding posing, guys. Your side chest does not look the same in a classic physique pose than it does in a bodybuilding pose. If you don't believe me, take a picture of Arnold doing the exact same pose as Phil Heath and see the difference in the stance and the way they pose, also in the way they move. Everything is different. I see those two categories as completely different things. Unfortunately, I've seen in this country that a lot of people are still going the bodybuilding route, even though they are competing as classic physique competitors. So hoping that in the next year or two, everyone will kind of make that transition and realize that it is two different categories, it's two different things completely, and you can't pose the one for the one as the same as you would for the other. Is it necessary to plan your low and high GI carb intake even when bulking for best insulin spikes? Sure, that's a mouthful. Guys, basics. I feel some people, most people, I'm very guilty of this. I feel most people, we get so caught up in all these small things, and you have to do this, and you have to do this, and you have to measure this, and you have to make sure that this is right and this is correct, that you forget it's about basics. Your low GI, high GI, insulin spike, it's all irrelevant. It's all about calories in versus calories out. You know, in your off season, if you're not consuming enough calories, you're not going to grow. It doesn't matter how much you spike that insulin. So take a step back, especially if you're a guy starting to think like this. Take a step back and go, am I following the basics? Am I doing everything that is necessary? And is that working? If that's not enough, then you start thinking about the smaller things and what kind of carbs to take in, and when to eat them, and so forth. And if you are very serious about this and you want to think about it now, I suggest you get a coach to kind of do that think work for you. Someone that's experienced in that side of bodybuilding. What do I have here? How did you choose to make bodybuilding and coaching your career? That's a good one. When I started out, no one cared. No one wanted to help me. No one wanted to give me advice. Everyone was so, I'm a bodybuilder, you're a small little boy, I'm not going to help you, kind of thing. So when I started getting into this, I promised myself that one day, if I'm in a position, I would help others. And I think that's kind of what got me into coaching. You know, I'm so passionate about this sport and so passionate about bodybuilding that I want to help others, and I want to make people reach their goals and their potential, you know. And I know that there are people out there that really don't fucking care, and I'm not that guy, you know. So I always want to try and help my guys and help everyone where I can, where possible. Your thoughts on meal timing for hypertrophy? Timing is a very individual thing. I don't work a 9 to 5, obviously, so my timing is very different. I eat my meals as I feel I need them, or whatever works out for my day. So depending on what time I go to bed and what time I wake up, I'll adjust my meal timing according to that. But for most people, I'd suggest for growth a 2-hour split between meals, and for losing weight a 3-hour, just to give yourself a little bit more time to digest food, and to get hungry. What most people don't understand about losing fat and burning fat is hunger is a very big part of it. If you're not hungry, your body's not in a calorie deficit. So if you are hungry, then your body is in a calorie deficit and you are not growing. So shorten your times between meals will help a lot with growth. And I think this is the last one. What happened for you to decide to become a bodybuilder? Was it always a passion of yours? No, not at all. I actually always kind of thought the guys in the gym were a little bit self-centered. I was a very small guy growing up. Even into my 20s, I was very small. And then I got I want to call it a disease called cubital tunnel syndrome. So basically my nerves pinched in my elbows and I lost the use of my hands. I went to the doctor. I had an operation done on my arms to release those nerves, and I obviously got into gym for the rehab part of it, to just get some strength back into my arms. and I never actually stopped. I fell in love with the whole concept of growth and making myself better and looking better, and it just kind of progressed from there into what it is today, which is my lifestyle, my living, and the way I do it. So yeah, I definitely didn't have a passion for it growing up. I wanted to be a fucking architect. I wanted to have a fast cars, and I was into drinking and girls and all kinds of things, and it kind of just progressed into this, what I do today. So I think that's about it. Let me just make sure I'm not skimping out on anyone. But yeah, I think I went through all of them now. So if you guys like this kind of YouTube video, let me know in the comment section below, and we'll maybe make this a monthly thing. Yeah, I really do enjoy interacting with you guys and getting some questions in, and really letting you guys get to know me a little bit and the way I think about things. So stay tuned for the next video.